Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you've been paying close attention to what's happening around the AFC North, you know that the Steelers are always a team to watch, especially in the offseason. And this year, the buzz is louder than ever. Pittsburgh's front office, led by GM Omar Khan, is making some intriguing moves, and it's clear they're not just settling for the status quo. They're aiming higher, looking to strengthen their roster in ways that could significantly impact their prospects for the upcoming season and beyond. One of the biggest stories circulating right now is the Steelers' focus on their tight end position. Yes, you heard that right. While many fans are fixated on the wide receiver market, especially after the trade of George Pickens to Dallas, the Steelers seem to be taking a different route. They're eyeing a Pro Bowl tight end Jonnu from the Miami Dolphins. And this isn't just idle chatter, it's coming from solid sources, including ESPN's Adam Schefter. Now, why would the Steelers prioritize tight end over, say, bolstering their wide receiver core? Well, if you look at the current roster, it's interesting. They've got Pat Freiermuth, who has established himself as a reliable, even explosive tight end. Freiermuth showed flashes last season of what he can become, a true safety valve for quarterback Kenny Pickett. Behind him, Darnell Washington is promising, a rookie with a lot of potential but still unproven at the NFL level. So the idea of adding a veteran like Jonnu makes a lot of sense, especially considering his recent stellar performance. Let's dive into the specifics. Smith, at 29 years old, is coming off a career year in 2024. He set franchise records for the Miami Dolphins in receptions, yards, and touchdowns for a tight end. His numbers last season, 88 catches for 884 yards and 8 touchdowns, are nothing short of impressive. These aren't just filler stats, they're indicators of a player who can be a game changer, especially in critical situations. And when you consider the familiarity with offensive coordinator Arthur Smith, who coached Smith during his time with the Tennessee Titans and Atlanta Falcons, it's easy to see why Pittsburgh might see him as a perfect fit. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. Smith is in the final year of his contract, earning around $4.8 million this season. He's expressed a desire to stay in Miami, but is also seeking a restructured deal. This opens the door for a trade, and the Steelers are reportedly in the mix. The idea of bringing in a player who has shown he can produce at a high level in the NFL and who fits the system is very appealing for Pittsburgh. It could provide that extra dimension on offense that has been somewhat lacking, especially in the red zone and third down situations. And let's not forget, the Steelers' offensive philosophy has been evolving. Under head coach Mike Tomlin and offensive coordinator Matt Canada, they're looking to diversify their attack. Having a tight end like Jonnu, who can line up in multiple positions and create mismatches, could be a huge advantage. Imagine the possibilities: Smith lining up outside in the slot or even in motion, creating confusion for defenses and opening up opportunities for the skilled players around him. But it's not just about the immediate impact. This move signals a strategic shift. The Steelers are clearly prioritizing adding versatile, proven playmakers to their offense. They're not just waiting for rookies to develop, they want guys who can step in and produce right away. Smith's experience, combined with his recent peak performance, makes him an attractive target. Plus, the fact that he's seeking a new contract might make the trade more feasible financially for Pittsburgh. They could negotiate a deal that benefits both sides and helps them build a competitive roster. Of course, there are questions. Will the Dolphins be willing to trade Smith? Will Pittsburgh be willing to meet Miami's asking price? How will this fit into their overall roster-building strategy, especially given the emphasis on upgrading the wide receiver position? Remember, after trading George Pickens, the Steelers are in a bit of a bind at wideout. They need to add another reliable weapon for Kenny Pickett, someone who can complement the emerging star DK Metcalf, whom they acquired earlier in the offseason. And speaking of the wide receiver core, it's worth noting that the Steelers are still shopping around. They're expected to add at least one more veteran or rookie in the draft or free agency. The division is getting tougher, with teams like Cincinnati and Baltimore making moves to strengthen their offenses. The AFC North is shaping up to be a battle of attrition, and Pittsburgh knows it. That's why they're so focused on bolstering their offensive weapons, whether through trade or draft. The Steelers' philosophy has always been rooted in resilience and smart roster management. They've built a reputation for drafting well, developing talent, and making shrewd moves in free agency. This potential trade for Jonnu fits right into that mold. It's about adding value, experience, and versatility to a team that's hungry for success. And let's face it, with the leadership of Mike Tomlin at the helm, the Steelers always seem to find a way to stay competitive, no matter the circumstances. Now, in terms of the season ahead, expectations are high but measured. The AFC North is no longer just a division where Pittsburgh can coast, it's a dogfight. Cincinnati's Joe Burrow is healthy again, Baltimore's Lamar Jackson is looking to bounce back, and Cleveland has a solid defense and a promising quarterback. The Steelers need to be at their best, and that means making smart moves, like possibly adding a proven tight end, so they can unlock the full potential of their offense. And let's not forget the importance of the offensive line, which has been solid but needs to continue developing chemistry. The wide receiver room after the Pickens trade now needs a spark. The addition of Jonnu could give them that extra punch, especially in critical moments. Plus, it would allow Kenny Pickett to have a trusted security blanket, similar to what other successful quarterbacks enjoy with their tight ends. Now, looking at the bigger picture, this move could also signal a shift in the AFC North landscape. If Pittsburgh manages to pull off this trade and integrate Smith smoothly into their offensive scheme, it might give them a crucial edge over their division rivals. A tight end who can stretch the field, block effectively, and make clutch catches can be a difference maker in tight games. It's the kind of piece that can turn a good team into a great one, especially if the defense continues to play at a high level, which has always been a Steelers' hallmark. And speaking of defense, Pittsburgh's defensive unit remains one of the league's best, anchored by stars like T.J. Watt, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and a solid linebacker core. But the offense has often been the missing piece in recent seasons. So this focus on upgrading the tight end position could be exactly what they need to become more balanced and dangerous on both sides of the ball. Now, fans are naturally eager to see how this story unfolds. Will the Steelers actually make a move for Jonnu? How will the Dolphins respond? And what does this mean for the team's overall strategy heading into the season? All questions that will be answered in the coming weeks as the NFL offseason continues to heat up. But one thing's certain, Pittsburgh is not sitting still. They're making calculated moves to stay competitive, and this potential trade is just another example of their determined approach. In the end, it's about winning. It's about bringing another Lombardi trophy back to the Steel City. And if adding a player like Jonnu helps them get closer to that goal, then it's a move worth watching closely. The NFL is a game of inches, and sometimes the right addition can be the difference between a playoff run and an early exit. So Steelers fans, keep your eyes peeled. Big things are happening, and your team might be on the verge of making a bold, game-changing move. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think adding Jonnu would be the right move for the team? How do you see it impacting their chances this season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. Remember, this is a fan-driven channel and your voice helps shape the conversation. I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news, because in Pittsburgh, we don't just follow the game, we live it. Thanks for being part of this family, and let's keep supporting our team through every twist and turn of this exciting offseason.